Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. In tonight's show, local women back a campaign to promote breastfeeding. Our guest updates us on a community venue in Grimsby that opened earlier this year, and we've got Dan Kemp with the sport. But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, the East Riding of Yorkshire Council sees it as a possibility that the Yorkshire Wolds could become an area of beauty, and a beach festival is taking place courtesy of the YMCA. Yesterday, thousands of students from across the area received their A-level grades. For the first time in 32 years, the pass rate actually declined, but the number of students getting A-star grades increased. Extra university places have also opened this year. 400,000 places have been granted nationally, with 350,000 getting their first choice of university, according to the Universities and Colleges Admissions Service, or UCAS. We went along to Franklin College to speak to some of the students getting their results.
We got some fantastic results. Students have done exceptionally well. We've got a pass rate of over 99%. As you can see by looking around you, most of the students have got into their first choice universities, so it's a great buzz here on this time of year, but no, they've done really well.
The plan, I'm going to uni in London to study events management or business management, and hopefully, we'll see where that takes me.
I got all above C's as well. I got a B in drama, I got a distinction star in performing arts, and I got a distinction in music, and I'm going to be going to Northern School of Contemporary Dance.
Natural England has invited councils across the country to prepare bids in order to become areas of outstanding natural beauty. East Riding of Yorkshire Council believes that the Yorkshire Wolds are worthy of the bid, and, after careful consideration, Natural England is now asking for more information from the council to support their bid.
The area is an area of outstanding natural beauty, whether or not it has that designation. But the designation recognises that, and would I think, or our view would be that that would bring a considerable boost to tourism and to the use of the area for recreation, and probably bring environmental benefits as well. If you like, you could compare it to the Lincolnshire Wolds AONB area, lovely area, where a lot of work's done by the management group and by the local communities there to make sure that the Lincolnshire Wolds AONB really works well. And we would like to see that replicated here in the East Yorkshire, in the beautiful East Yorkshire Wolds. We're standing in Bainton at the foot of the Wolds in an absolutely picturesque village, and we would love to see those benefits, those economic benefits, come to East Yorkshire if we can get them there. The people who live here are already very proud of where they live, and it would add to that pride, and it would, I think, bring benefits to all the small businesses and large businesses who operate in and around this area in terms of a greater tourism product and a better tourism product to offer to the rest of everybody.
Families are being encouraged to take part in the Cleethorpes Beach Festival in September. Capturing on the legacy of London 2012 and the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow this year, the YMCA have organised the festival, which is geared towards people of all ages and abilities coming together to try out new sports, alongside experiencing a bit of culture. This event is all about maintaining the legacy of those major sporting events, a sentiment echoed by the organiser of the event, Jenny Hodson.
Community Games were started nationally just after the Olympics as part of the Inspire programme. It's around getting families and young people all involved in doing games, sport activities, but without the competitive edge. So it's not around people becoming Olympians themselves. It's just around getting the enjoyment out. So some of the things we've looked at in the past year have been things like egg and spoon races and sack races and just fun days and fun events. But it's also about getting culture involved in it, so it's having music and different things like that at the event.
On Wednesday, the Canadian Lancaster bomber did an air display with its British counterpart. The two displays lasted for a total of 2 hours and featured the bombers as well as modern aircraft. The display took place at RAF Coningsby and performed to a crowd who were, at some points, 5 people deep at the gates for the airfield. Estuary TV was allowed access inside the airfield to film this footage. The two Lancasters are due to give a series of displays across the country during August and September, the information of which you can find online at www.warplane.com. That's all we've got time for now, and we'll be back with more news soon. If in the meantime you have a story for us, then please don't hesitate to contact us on Twitter or Facebook. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now, next on the show, I've got Steve Cartwright, who works at a community venue on Grimsby's Freeman Street, and that's called The Warehouse. Thanks for coming in today, Steve.
No problem.
Tell me, what do you do for them?
Basically, I'm the events coordinator at the Warehouse. It's my job to put on events and let people know about them, and obviously bring them in to see what the Warehouse is all about.
Now, you opened in May. That's when it was officially launched.
That's right.
It's got a big grant from the Heritage Lottery Fund to refurb this old building on Grimsby Freeman Street. What's different about the Warehouse as a venue compared to sort of any other private venue?
Well, the thing, it's a community venue first and foremost, and what we want to do is make sure that the events that we put in on appeal to all members of the community. So whether that's as coffee mornings or as over 50s club, or the live entertainment that we have on a weekend with local acts and some of the more established national acts, we want to make sure that we can offer low cost entertainment but still offer that high end entertainment for everyone.
So it's a deprived area on the East Marsh, and that's part of the reason for building it there. What kind of things have you got there?
Coming up over the next couple of months, we've got a regular spot with the Comedy Club, who come in at the beginning of each month and put on an event for us. These
guys tour the country as well, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see some of the comedians that are coming to Grimsby and coming to the Warehouse. You can see them on Sky TV. We've got open mic nights and different bands from the local area and also from across the UK. And a lot of people don't know as well is that we've actually got a fully licensed bar, we've got a dance studio, we've got a full gym upstairs as well. So there's a lot going on. It's not just an entertainment venue.
And you've got bands playing recently, upcoming. Who have you got?
In just the next couple of weeks, we've got the Wisers, we've got a couple of local bands, we've got Ravada, which are coming up from London, and obviously they're bringing support acts with them and things like that as well.
And if I want to go to one of these nights, how much am I looking at for a ticket?
Depending on the event,
Yeah.
Obviously the ticket prices vary, but they range from a couple of quid to as higher shows such as the Comedy Club, and tickets for that are just a tenner.
That's not too bad for national acts.
Not bad at all.
Now, obviously you opened in May. I suppose sometimes it's not always easy to establish yourself. You know, what are you trying to do at the moment? Are people coming?
People are coming, but the biggest issue that we've got at the minute is letting people know who we are and where we are. We can bring the best act in the world to Grimsby, but if people don't know where they're performing, then nobody's going to see it, and that act's going to be, it's not going to be worthwhile. So what we need to do is let people know who the Warehouse is and where we are and what we offer.
And that's on Grimsby's Freeman Street. And it's quite easy to see when you go down there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Big white building. You can't miss us. You can also find us on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming in today, Steve. I'm sure some of our viewers will come and give it a try.
Fantastic.
I'll certainly be going down, so comedy night sounds fun. But thank you for coming in.
Brilliant, thank you.
Now, next, we're talking about breastfeeding. I'll admit that it's a conversation I and many of you probably find a little bit awkward, but there's no need to feel that way. That's according to local women who've started a campaign that aims to convince people that there's nothing awkward or uncomfortable about something that's perfectly natural. Richard Morris reports.
Breastfeeding rates are low in the Lincolnshire area, with North Lincolnshire alone having rates 11% lower than the national average. But one group in Caister is trying to fight the stigma and make the practice more prevalent in the area. Laura Sturdy is a doula and holistic therapist who organises the Mama Meet group every month in the market town. She thinks, although the phrase is old, that breast is best.
Well, the slogan "breast is best" is really outdated and is from an old 90s NHS breastfeeding campaign. Breastfeeding is biologically the best way to feed your baby. Breast milk, it adapts and suits each child individually and is absolutely amazing in that it completely adapts to what the child needs at that feed. It's got millions of additional nutrients and minerals and vitamins that we don't fully understand, and we don't know exactly what's included, that formula milk just doesn't include, and it forms a closer bond between babies and their mothers, which has all been shown in lots and lots of research. Today's event's called a Big Latch On event, which is a one-day event that's held annually for World Breastfeeding Week, which runs this week from August the 1st to the 7th. Normally we run a group on a Friday called a Mama Meet, which is a monthly group and is for parents who are interested in instinctual and attachment parenting. My role as a doula is to help parents through all aspects of pregnancy, birth and the early days of parenting, and so I sort of facilitate the groups each month. I just think we've forgotten what breasts are for. They're for feeding babies. We are mammals and they are mammary glands, and with the advertising that we have and the images that we see of pop stars and the Sun page 3, they've been sexualised over the years, which means that it's very hard to actually realise that that woman isn't flashing her breast at you, she's feeding her baby, she's doing what is natural.
So what do the members of the group think?
I think that breastfeeding in public needs a bigger awareness. The more people that see people breastfeeding in public, the more normal it becomes. So I think it's really important for all the mums to see that so that they feel comfortable to breastfeed in public. Because if you can't breastfeed in public, then it shortens your journey, I feel, because you feel that you can't go out, and it just makes it a bad experience, really, which it shouldn't be.
Well, really it's the only natural food for babies, obviously. It's the best thing that they can get, the best start in life that they can have. There are so many unwritten benefits to breastfeeding, not only for the babies, but also for mums too. It creates a sense of closeness between you and your baby as well. And it really helps against mums with depression as well. It helps to stop that. I really love the bond that we've got between us from breastfeeding. It's really nice.
So James will never go near formula milk then?
Never. If anybody tried to put a bottle near my baby's mouth, probably they'd have to run fast.
Richard Morris, Estuary TV News.
Thank you, Richard. And now we've got Dan Kemp, who is extremely excited about a weekend long anticipated by many of us football fans, but one my girlfriend dreads.
That's right, I can agree with that. After the Football League season started last weekend, tomorrow's the 10 of the Premier League. Hull City kick off their campaign away against newly promoted Queen's Park Rangers. In the conference, Grimsby Town will be looking to win their first game of the season against Dover after 2 draws in 2. And a league lower, North Ferriby, who are yet to concede a goal, host Gloucester City. Scunthorpe face Preston as they look to build on their shock victory against Blackburn in midweek. They've also announced a new incentive to get more youngsters through the turnstiles this season. Average attendances were around 4,000 at Glanford Park during the League 2 promotion last year, but their offer to free season tickets to under-7s has now been extended to under-12s to boost crowds.
We want to give the kids of Scunthorpe the opportunity to come along and watch the football team. We're the only league team in the area in North Lincolnshire and beyond, in some of the surrounding areas, and we just want to give them the opportunity to come along and watch us, and hopefully we'll see a few more attenders as a result of this game. The more kids who come along and decide to support the team, the more paying adult fans we'll have in the future. Often once you decide on your club, you don't change. You don't go from club to club, or most people don't. So if we can get them to come along to see a live game at Scunthorpe, enjoy it, keep coming, hopefully they'll do that rather than watching a Manchester United or a Chelsea on the television.
Our Super League sides continue to build their squads for the 2015 season. Hull KR have completed the signing of Bradford Bulls forward James Donaldson, and Hull FC have extended the contract of second rower Dean Hadley. And finally, Hull City owner Asim Alam has agreed a 5-year sponsorship deal with Hull and East Riding Chevron's netball team. And that's all for the sport. Back to you.
Thank you, Dan. We'll look forward to that. Well, I'm afraid that is the end of the show, but if you've got something you'd like to share with us, get in touch by calling on Grimsby 315 561, via Facebook or Twitter at Estuary TV, or email us on info@estuary.tv. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.